Hi everyone. Okay, I know it has been a while since I filmed a video. I tried to do a sketchbook tour like a couple of weeks ago, but I filmed it on a camera that I found and I forgot that all my products are Apple products, and if you don't understand, Apple products don't have like the SD card things anymore, or I don't know, maybe they never had them, but to like put the SD card in, I need like the dongle thing, and I got really mad because I didn't want to buy the dongle thing, so I just gave up for like 2 weeks. But I'm just gonna film it on my phone. But I also finally got my phone updated, so hopefully it looks better. And now I have space so I can actually like film on my phone. I had to buy the 99-cent cloud thing, and I also didn't want to do that because it also made me mad that I had to do that. But then my friend made a very good point that it is only 99 cents and I should stop being so frugal, I guess. But yeah, I am just gonna film the sketchbook tour like this. So the sketchbook that I wanted to do a tour of today is the last sketchbook that I finished. It's this one. Very green. This is when I kind of discovered that green was my favorite color. A tradition. Okay, so I always start my sketchbooks, at least nowadays, with a little artist note and a self-portrait. So that's what this is. In this sketchbook, I tried practicing with my gouache. This is a old gouache set that didn't work very well. The paints would just separate so easily, and I had to do a lot of the heavy lifting with my colored pencils. So that's what this is. This is marker and colored pencil, and you'll find a common theme that I do love to go over my work with colored pencil. This one is chalk pastels. I just got Prismacolor chalk pastels when I bought my new Prismacolor pencil set. Hi, Mavis. Oh, the girls are fighting. In this photo, you can see that I'm like kind of improving with my gouache. I still did some detail work with my colored pencil, but it came out really nice. I actually really like this one. It's probably one of my favorites in this sketchbook. This is just a random portrait, I guess. I feel like in this sketchbook I was in a very weird mood. I was pretty reflective in the beginning of 2024. I was also dealing with a lot of insomnia and narcolepsy. So I was passing out like randomly throughout the day. And then by like mid 2025, I kind of got a hold of it. But yeah, in this portrait, I was dealing with the feeling of being unloved. So this is from a song, I Saw Red. It's from a song called I Saw Red by Sublime featuring Gwen Stefani. And it's kind of just like a couple that's fighting and arguing, but I guess I had that song stuck in my head. And in 2024 is also when I started to get obsessed with Stardew Valley. there wasn't a lot that I could do fun-wise because I was struggling with narcolepsy and insomnia, and I didn't really have friends anyway. This is highlighter and gel pens, so I'm pretty sure I went in like with no sketch, so I'm kind of proud of this one, and it looks really cool. I love working with highlighters. The like bright neon is awesome. This is another gouache piece, I believe, and I really like watered it down to try and like play around with it, but I still went in with my colored pencils in this one. This is just a silly portrait where I was using crayons like restaurant crayons. Ooh, okay, this is when I tried to get back into line work and things like that. I really could have used a reference because I feel like her face is really wide, but I also remember wanting it to feel like really like bubbly and underwater and like kind of trippy. I might go back and redo this piece at some point. It has been about 2 years now since I did that. Cute. Sometimes I leave myself little notes in the corner, if you can see. So this one says, "It's not bad, it just doesn't feel creative." Oh, cute. I was rewatching Steven Universe with my fiance at the time, and this was a like not original character, but like what I think Pearl and Lapis would look like fused, because they're kind of like my favorite characters. Some things I think I'm just gonna like skip over, but I will still show the work because, you know, gotta show your work. This is me sketching all my houseplants. I am in love with houseplants. I think, oh man, that's really sad. I titled this one, "This is Home," because when I moved into my first apartment, I really struggled with the idea of what home is, and I struggled with spending money. And one of the things that I would do to make it feel like I was building a home was I would buy houseplants. And I take really good care of them. I love houseplants, and I was able to keep most of my houseplants. And the ones that I didn't get to keep, I did give to people who I felt like would take good care of them. Oh, this is when I got into my paint markers. So this one's really cool. I really like this one. But yeah, Posca's and Garbies are the brands that I used. I think this is when I kind of started to realize I'm like in love with markers and colored pencils and using them together. And I started practicing like layering effects, things like that. So this is like a plastic bag with some fruit in it. And this one I'm like playing around with colors. So I don't remember if this was referenced or not. Okay, low-key, I got major distracted because I had to make some room in my phone to record some more, and now there's a cat in my lap. So, if you hear purring, that's her. Gosh, looking back at these gives me so many memories. Because unfortunately, I have a very good memory. This is when I shaved my head, actually, and I can tell because of the little me in the corner. and this one's called Be Nasty. And when I shaved my head, I told myself, like, this is your truest form, I guess. I don't know. I just like that I didn't have to deal with my hair on my face all the time. It started to get very overstimulating for a second, and my mental health was crashing. But these are original characters that I have who I want to do something with eventually, but in my head they're like besties. I did this over Thanksgiving when I didn't feel like talking to anyone. Juice boxes, cute actually. Kind of hate this one. A lot of times if I don't have a reference for a portrait, it does not come out how I like. Ooh, this is a really funny one because I remember telling my little sister, like, oh, we should draw together, and I was working on this piece, and I, like, very embarrassingly, like, passed out, and I just hoped that she didn't notice. I don't know if she did. But yeah, here I'm working on posing work. More posing work. This is actually the character you saw earlier. I redraw her almost every year that I can, so she's coming this year. This was 2025, so she's coming this year. This is when I got Sonic obsessed. You know, every artist goes through that though. This is when I started working with my colored pencils more often. Just like little sketches instead of full pieces in my sketchbook. And then I also got cat obsessed in this era. In this same era. Ooh, I hope that was on screen this whole time. Oh my goodness, these are my D&D characters. If you feel like reading about them, you can like pause and read about them. But yeah, Bum, he was my first one. Pip, he is my second one. None of these campaigns, I probably think, I think I only played one session, maybe two with Pip. They did not ever last. Mainly my fault, though. Mainly my fault. I get very anxious in social situations, so. But I'm working on that. Moths. And I also got Steve obsessed for a second, so. Aquatic. I also had a very, around the same time as like my cat obsession went on, I had a very aquatic thing going on as well, and I still kind of do. More cats. And Steve. This one was a line challenge, so I had my ex like draw me a line, and I went and made a full piece with it, which came out pretty good. It's cute. These are my boys, my beautiful boys. And this is when I kind of get good at gouache. I got a gouache set for Christmas, and I started using it. And so here you can see I actually start kind of getting good with the gouache. Yay! And here's more practicing. I did some thumbnails. This is the one I ended up going with. I think I did another one on this page. I was trying to work on my perspective work. We'll get there eventually, but hey, at least I kind of got the gouache down. These are my boys. My boy and my boys. I do feel like Bum would fit in the Monster Hunter universe. A really long time ago, back in middle school, created these characters. And they're like monster hunters. And my boy. He's like a comfort character of mine. This is my friend's cat. He actually ended up commissioning me, and I gave him a full piece. And this is when I got my heart broken. So I started to become very uninspired. So I just feel like my work comes out way more stagnant because I see the ideas and they're there, but I can tell I was not having a good time. But I start to get better eventually. Definitely not by the end of this sketchbook. Oh, so these disco balls, actually. I have a friend who eventually wants to get a tattoo with a disco ball involved. So he wants me to like design it for him. So I was practicing my disco balls. It's just a cool skeleton. Actually, this is because I wanted to do a painting of skeletons. So I wanted to make sure I had like my skeleton structure down. I don't really have anything to say about this one, to be honest. I do really enjoy this type of line work, though. Oh, and this is when I kind of got into a little bit of, I want to say, psychosis, because I really did think that my ex, I didn't believe that they were, like, actually leaving me. Because we had a really good relationship going, but then I kind of realized, like, oh, wait, you are, like, trying to just keep me around to use me, and I let myself get used a lot during the relationship. But I can't help it. I am a very strong lover, but I need to make sure that I give my love to people who deserve it. Like Rui! Rui from X Love. I love using idols to practice, like, my poses and things like that, because they always have, like, such fun poses and cool outfits. Yeah. And then this is the last page, but also, it wasn't the last thing I drew, but Rui was the last thing I drew in this sketchbook, but it's a portrait of my mom, and this is a portrait of me. And this is just a little sketch of how I was feeling at the moment. Yeah, and that is the end of this sketchbook. I kind of got distracted while filming that, so if you noticed, the sun moved quite a bit. Ooh, my hands just farted. If you notice that the sun moved quite a bit, yeah, I got distracted while filming that sketchbook tour. But yeah, hopefully there will be more to come. I am drawing every single day. Right now, I'm working in this sketchbook. Let's see, can I give you a sneak peek? Yes, I did this sketch today. Hobby! And I'm also working in this sketchbook at the same time, but they're two different papers. I'll give you a little sneak peek in this one too. I'm using up that gouache I was talking about. I decided to use it up in monochrome art, so I'm practicing like my silhouettes and stuff. So I actually really like how the water came out in this one. I think it's very cool. But yeah, I don't like art supplies going to waste. So even though I think those gouaches are kind of garbage, I am still going to use them. Another sneak peek, because I can't help myself. But yeah. Thank you everyone for coming to my sketchbook tour. It means a lot to me when people like my art and they look at my art, and I just like talking about art. So yes, if you have any questions about any of the pieces, I love to over explain things, so just leave a question in the comments. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you.